that you don't want to miss. You're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
To the big-hearted, the bold, the teachers, the growers, the builders, the change makers, we need you. We are the Peace Corps. In more than 60 countries, we go the distance to make a difference. We're volunteers, partners, communities, bringing our experience, joy, and passion to building a better world together. Are you looking for more? Then we are looking for you. Join us at peacecorps.gov.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now for some USM campus news. The Southern Miss Powwow to be held November 18th at Spirit Park on Hattiesburg campus. You've heard it right. The Southern Miss Powwow is returning Saturday, November 18th at Spirit Park, here on the Hattiesburg campus. This celebration will be from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and is completely free and open to the public. As revealed by the USM Golden Eagle Intertribal Society, you can look forward to gourd dancing at 11 a.m., the grand entry at 1 p.m., and the closing song at 7 p.m. Dr. Tammy Greer, an associate professor of psychology and advisor to the Golden Eagle Intertribal Society, goes on to say this: in addition to being a space to gather socially as natives and also bring their unique cultures, art forms, crafts, and food to everyone, the powwow provides an opportunity for Native students to practice being what they will eventually become: leaders, culture bearers, and role models in Indian country. In Hattiesburg news, ice skating is set to return to Mississippi Coast Coliseum. If you're interested in picking up a new skill or having some fun, ice skating at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum is coming back this year. The rink opened up Sunday, November 12th, and is set to continue all the way through the end of March, with each session lasting 90 minutes. Tickets to skate are $13, and for an additional $10, you can get the help of Bobby the Seal skate aids. If you're interested, keep in mind that tickets must be purchased in person 1 hour prior to the session beginning. In Mississippi news, Mississippi State announces change in football leadership. After just 11 games, Mississippi coach Zach Arnett has been fired from his position on Monday. Mississippi State Director of Athletics Zach Selman goes on to say, "As part of my thorough and continued evaluation, I have determined that a change in leadership is necessary to move our football program forward and position it for the highest level of success. I have the utmost respect for Zach Arnett, and I'm incredibly appreciative of the effort he put forth in leading our football program. However, the progress and on-field results have not been of the standard required for Mississippi State to achieve the level of success we need and expect. The teams had a 5-6 record during Coach Zach Arnett's tenure, including a 4-6 record this season." In national news, effects of climate change worsening in every part of the U.S. Experts from the federal governments are finding that climate change is making it harder to maintain safe homes and healthy families in the United States. Giving more information, Catherine Heo, a climate scientist at Texas Tech University and co-author of the report, explains that the report details increased risk of extreme heat and rainfall, with some impacts being registered as coastal erosion, which threatens the coast from flooding. Wildfires, along with the damaging of forests, warming oceans, and damage to ecosystems, which aids into heat waves. 2023 has been labeled a record-setting year for billion-dollar climate disasters in the United States. We'll be right back with sports and weather after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Calling all families.
Calling all children. And kids of all ages.
Are you looking for a variety of music the whole family can listen to?
Yeah!
Then look no further. We have traditional songs, international tunes, and fresh new beats.
Join us every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m.
Right here on Southern Miss Radio
for the Hickory Dickory Dock Show. Catch you Saturday. Catch you then.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now on for your sports. First up, we've got some announcements. Come out and support our Golden Eagles as they take on Xavier, Louisiana on Wednesday, November 15th at 7 o'clock p.m. Free gold-blooded t-shirts while supplies last. A friendly reminder to download your tickets to your Apple Wallet before arriving to the stadium for the easiest access into the venue. Seniors lead volleyball to victory over Old Dominion on Senior Day. Our Volleyball Eagles finished its regular season with a 3-1 home win against Old Dominion. This match took place on Senior Day, and when led by 4 seniors, delivered a stellar performance in the match. Congratulations. A breakout performance leads Lady Eagles to dominate win over Akron. At Reed Green Coliseum, Morgan Sieper pushed herself to the limit and helped push the Basketball Eagles to a 77-60 win over Akron. Congratulations. To keep up with all the Golden Eagles sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com. Now on for your weather. Today's highs and lows are in the 50s, with it currently feeling like 57 degrees. Hopefully that rain has been treating you well because it looks like it'll be continuing some more today. The morning has the less likelihood, but it is only growing as the day passes. So make sure you pack an umbrella and get ready for a rainy day. Up next, we have Randy Yates recalling his family's cabin on the fairgrounds, as well as their traditions during the fair season. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. Since 1889, the Neshoba County Fair has been a yearly pilgrimage for many Mississippians. Randy Yates recalls his family's cabin on the fairgrounds and the wide variety of foods they enjoyed.
At the Neshoba County Fair, my family's cabin there, we would get up in the morning and have country ham, eggs any way you wanted, biscuits or toast, homemade preserves, bacon, fresh peaches with cream, coffee, and probably a piece of pound cake for breakfast every morning. And on Wednesday and Thursday at the fair, they'd probably fry 8 or 10 chickens and cook a 30-pound roast and have 6 or 7 kinds of vegetables. And the rest of the time it'd probably just be, sandwiches or something during the day. But at night you'd have lasagna and salad and garlic bread, or boiled shrimp one night, or casseroles, or you might just go eat Polish sausages on the Midway and lemonade with vodka in it, or cold chicken, fried catfish, or anything. I mean, every house just has platters of food sitting around. The fair is eating and gossiping and drinking and sweating.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was Randy Yates. Up next, we've got some special guests that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now, please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Susan Perry and Norma Williamson. How are the both of you doing?
Great, thank you.
It's so great to have you both on the show, and also with just reading ahead a little bit with such like an amazing and like motivating cause. But before we begin anything, for anyone who doesn't know you, can you both tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. I'm Susan, and I'm a USM graduate and a retiree of the university. And once I retired, we retired about the same time and started looking for some other activities, and that's
Right.
where we joined the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Right. And what about you?
I'm Norma. I'm a lifelong resident of Hattiesburg. I'm also a graduate of the University of Southern Mississippi. I'm also the retiree, as Susan mentioned, from the university. And I like to garden, as well as now I'm very involved with DAR.
Nice. Is your garden doing well during all of this right now?
It has survived. Zinnias are wonderful in drought weather.
Right.
So.
Well, that's great. And as you mentioned, but I'm sure that some people might not know it very much. So for anyone who doesn't know, what exactly is DAR?
Daughters of the American Revolution, or DAR, is a lineage-based, non-political women's service organization founded in 1890.
Wow.
Our motto is God, home, and country. And we're made up of women of all races, creeds, ethnicities, who can prove direct genealogical descent from a patriot of the American Revolution.
Wow.
Over these past 133 years, we've inducted over 1 million members. So right now there's about 190,000 current members throughout the states and in other countries.
Right. Wow. I mean, picturing like a number that large is already something that like I know that people like look over and go like, well, that's a big number, but like we don't know how big it is. But just picturing like the crowd of faces and all of these bodies that are standing up proud and looking over and going like, this is us. And it doesn't have to be all this stuff from the past and all these stereotypes and all these things that were positioned in burdens. It's a matter of this is truth, and that's absolutely amazing. And I want to go a little bit deeper into what DAR specifically means for the two of you. So do you both mind telling us a bit about your experiences?
It's been very interesting, exciting, gratifying to join this group that is so focused on patriotism,
Right.
historic preservation, and education.
Right.
We support, as a national and international organization, we support 5 schools around the country. We are very heavily involved in historic preservation. In fact, the Mississippi State Society, DAR, owns a mansion in Natchez,
Wow.
Rosalie Mansion, that we maintain. Of course, we could give tours there.
Right.
It's right overlooking the river. We've been there to an event before, so it's just beautiful. So that's just one example of the historic preservation efforts that we have.
Okay. And what about you?
DAR has filled a very, almost an empty spot in my life in
Right.
that my husband, who passed in January, was a Navy veteran for 20 years. Well, in the Navy for
Right.
20 years, so he was a veteran.
Yeah.
And, of course, I wanted to honor him, and DAR is the perfect place because we honor our veterans,
Yeah.
past, present, even future.
Yeah.
We really respect and we honor and we thank them, and that's why we are considered a service organization,
Yeah.
because we do so many service projects, from having volunteers like at veterans homes, veteran hospitals, as well as providing packages for needy veterans, maybe those that are homeless. So, honoring our veterans
Right.
is such a focus of the entire organization.
Absolutely. And this really does sound like an opportunity like that hits home for a lot of people. And I know for me, this is an opportunity that like I really hope my sisters would be aware of, because my father is a Marine veteran and served during Vietnam. And knowing how I've been able to talk to my sisters and being able to like have little moments where we're butting heads or we're doing the civil rivalry that's already been song and dance over and over again. But hearing the things that they've grown with and hearing the things that they've done is something that I could never understand. But watching where they're at now and seeing this like semblance of pride that it comes from is just absolutely amazing.
Absolutely proud. Yes.
So I've looked over the website of DAR, and there's a lot of resources that people can check out, like these online exhibitions. But with this website, can you tell us more about what you both know about it and what people, our listeners, are able to take away from it?
It's a huge website, and of course, there's one part that you view once you become a member.
Right.
But then there's a public side of the website as well that just tells about the history of the DAR, various service opportunities.
Yeah.
There's a counter for the number of millions of hours of service we have provided, because everybody tracks that, of course, just all kinds of the projects that are going on, ways to volunteer, things about the education part, historic preservation part, the patriotism part. It's all there.
Right.
And also, if you're interested in starting the process for the genealogy, there are some resources available to help you get started with your genealogy, research.
Wow.
So that's important, an important piece, because you have to prove that connection to a patriot.
Absolutely. And that's absolutely amazing to be able to have this central hub where there's all these different resources. And I know that when I was able to just glance over it, just like one of the things open to the public with like the online exhibitions, I've looked over and I began to see these different like articles or seeing these different names, and I've looked over and I went, I didn't know any of this beforehand. And it's such an amazing opportunity for people to be able to see all of this together. But I know one thing that has happened recently that I understand is that you both had an event recently with DAR. Can you tell us a bit about that and what the future is looking like for the two of you?
Well, we are members of the 20th STAR chapter, National Society Daughters of the American Revolution, here in this area.
Right.
And we have been thinking about, we started about a year ago planning on what we can do, because the time has come to start preparing for the 250th birthday of America, which will be coming up in 2026.
Wow.
So our National Society gave grants, some dollars, to allow individual chapters to start this process. So a year ago, we talked about planting a Liberty tree.
Right.
Then we talked about a Patriots marker to go by the Liberty tree, and then everybody said, let's see if we can put it at the Center for Military Veterans, Service Members, and Families at the University of Southern Mississippi. And of course, Susan and I were like, yes, our home. So we were very excited about that.
Yes, and we approached General Jeff Hammond, who's the director there, about a year ago, last November, and told him this crazy idea. What would you think about us planting a tree here? And we have an opportunity we have to apply for this Patriots marker through the national organization. He was like, sure, let's do it. So we had that green light and started that process, and we have worked on it off and on for a year, and it was a wonderful event. It was held November 1st. The tree had been planted. The marker had been installed. We had a big ceremony where we revealed the marker, had a really nice crowd. Some of our state DAR officers were able to be here. And it was wonderful. It brought attention to our veterans, to the Veterans Center, and to DAR.
And I think it's very neat that we had a dedication ceremony, which is according to our national protocol.
Right.
And now, because of that ceremony, as far as DAR is concerned, that's a historic site. Wow. So now we have this tree and this fabulous boulder with our marker on it for everyone to see. So what's the future for it?
So the next step, and we called it "Give Me Liberty, Meet at the Tree," because there was a tree in Boston during the Revolutionary War where people would meet. The patriots would meet to plan what they thought they should do to,
Right.
protest this tax or, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was chopped down by the British at a certain point and burned, but people still met there. So the cause of liberty did not go away just because they chopped the tree down.
Right.
So we wanted to plant this tree, which we did, and we want to continue this event.
Yeah.
So we have applied, or we did apply through the Visit Hattiesburg Tourism Commission for a grant to continue it, and we were awarded some money to do that. And what we plan to do is to have groups like scout groups
Yeah.
or church groups or civic groups, garden clubs, any kind of group that we can get to come and tell them about this history
Right.
and about our marker and about the Veterans Center here as well,
Right.
and about DAR.
Well, I mean, I'm already excited to see what the tree is going to end up like and be able to have such like a monument so close to here. It's stellar to be able to have that. And also the give me liberty and meet by the tree, having such a resounding meaning, a resounding theme. It's just, it's so absolutely amazing. And I'm sure that a lot of our listeners are already very intrigued with DAR, and especially the efforts that the two of you have already detailed during this like conversation. So how would someone become a member of DAR?
Well, you have to prove a connection
Right.
to not necessarily a soldier, but anyone who helped during the Revolutionary War. It could be someone who was a physician or
Right.
who provided livestock or maybe provided lodging, or just, there's a lot of ways that
Yeah.
you can, but you have to prove that lineage. And then that's the main thing.
Okay.
Is there anything
And
else?
if there's someone that's interested in our 20th Star Chapter, they could Google 20th Star Chapter and come up with our website, give it a look. But there's also a form there that they can complete,
Okay.
and that would go to our email, and then we can follow up with the person that might be interested and help them
Right.
through the process of joining DAR in our chapter.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting, and I'm sure that there's going to be listeners out there that have already either have some of these ties or are going to start scrambling for files or whatever they can find to do it. So for anyone that is able to become a member, what type of opportunities can people expect?
Well, there's all kind of service opportunities,
Right.
like Norma said a minute ago, with just volunteering for various things, participating in patriotic activities.
We
Go
have
ahead.
fun activities too, like our last chapter meeting was last Saturday,
Right.
Veterans Day, and we were able to go. We traveled to the World War II. To the museum at Camp
Right.
Shelby.
Wow.
We went to that museum. We were able to tour. We had lunch. We visited. We had a little bit of business, but not much. But it was
Yeah.
really a great opportunity to see what was available at Shelby. So it's not all about business. We do,
Right.
but also one thing that has become so important to me is the sisterhood. The friends that
Right.
I've made just because I joined DAR, people I didn't know.
Yeah.
So that's been a wonderful part of it too.
Right.
One other thing that's coming up, for the first time, an organization called Wreaths Across America is now in Hattiesburg. Our chapter is a sponsor, I guess you would say, for that. We are attempting to provide a wreath for every veteran's grave at Highland Cemetery.
Wow.
So that's our first start, Highland
Yeah.
Cemetery. You can get other cemeteries designated, hopefully, in the future. But
Yeah.
that Wreaths Across America Day is December 16th.
Okay.
So even if you're not a member, you can come to that ceremony.
Okay. Well, that's absolutely amazing. And of course, having this like semblance of like community, especially within Hattiesburg and with such like a topic as this of being able to express your experiences and your truths and be able to have this sisterhood that you were able to mention of just connective and togetherness, which is always something that's beautiful. And that's absolutely amazing. And it's exciting that there's also opportunities and events that people that aren't members of DAR could still come in and give their support. And that's absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely. And even if you don't go to the ceremony for
Right.
wreaths, drive by the cemetery because it should be an amazing sight to see
Absolutely.
1,700 wreaths laid for veterans.
Absolutely. Well, I know that some people are either like hesitant about becoming a member, whether because they don't know their qualifications or they're not qualified. So if someone isn't able to become a member, but they want to help out in some way. Is there any way that they can do that, whether like donation or something along those lines?
Go ahead.
No, donations are always accepted, and we only can use donations or our funds for the certain purposes that we've mentioned, the education, patriotism, historic preservation. So it's not like we're going to squander them away. They'll be used. But also, if you have any interest in doing one of our service projects, but you're not a member, again, go to that website and just fill out the form or, contact someone on the website. We'd love to have anyone's help at anything.
Yeah, and if you're nervous about being able to trace your genealogy, we can help with that as well, too.
Well, awesome. I know that some people, especially like for me, by finding out like all these ties to either military or to like your other ethnic background of looking over and like seeing all these different resources and going like, this is a lot. And this is too much. But I do know that we're running out of time, but there is one last thing that I'd like to ask you both. If there's one thing that you would say to the people out there, what would you say?
About DAR? It's wonderful to be in an organization that's this big and that is this focused on these really important things for our country: historic preservation, patriotism, and education. And like Norma said, we've met we're fairly new to DAR, like in the last 2 or 3 years. But we've met so many wonderful people, and like you. I mean, this is an opportunity we wouldn't have had. So it's just been very positive all the way around. Plus getting to work, do some service.
And I think the other thing that we would say would be thank a veteran. Just say thank you and love on them because they've done so much to provide our freedom.
Well, thank you so much, both. Well, thank you both for coming on, and of course, to emphasize your message. Any veterans that are listening out here, thank you so much for your service, and thank you for everything that you do. But once again, thank you so much, Susan Perry and Norma Williamson, for coming on today and providing a voice for our Eagles. If you're interested in learning more, head on over to www.dar.org. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, we've got Raven Payne reporting on student success. Check it out.
Located in the library, the Center for Student Success is to help students adjust to life in Southern Miss. To look for the Center of Student Success, you will look around and see a sign where the center is located in the library. Heading towards the back is where the Center for All Students finds success. The center also gains students connections through other areas.
The Center for Student Success is a place where students come if they need support or help, specifically with their academics. We do some personal development things as well.
The Center for Student Success has programs welcome for all students and faculty and staff.
We have programs for pretty much anybody. We have staff members who have specialty areas. We have things for first-generation college students, first-year students, transfer students, sophomores, and some of our programs are also open for juniors and seniors.
The Center for Student Success is located in the Cook Library, room 138.
Thank you, Raven, and thank you for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio.
Sponsorship comes from Southern Beverage, your local Michelob Ultra distributor. Michelob Ultra has significantly fewer carbs and calories per serving if you are watching those in your diet. You can reach Southern Beverage. Sponsorship comes from Southern Beverage, your local Michelob Ultra distributor. Michelob Ultra has significantly fewer carbs and calories per serving if you are watching those in your diet. You can reach Southern Beverage by phone at 601-268-9111, or you can find them on the internet at southernbeverage.com. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri, and Southern Beverage ask you to please drink responsibly. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277, and the website is goamericangraphics.com.